Countries which allow spouse visa along with study visa. This is the topic of today. Of course, Canada is one of the biggest countries where people get study visa along with spouse upon work permit. It is possible to travel with family. Yes, it is there. But people are looking for other options as well, where you can get study visa and spouse visa together, or you can travel with the family. Finland is there. Yes, people want to go to Finland. Finland can be an option. There can be other options in Europe as well, but Finland is one of the best options to go for. Yes, New Zealand and Australia is also there. You can proceed for that. Then UK is also there for a few options. UK can also be the option for you. In this particular video, we are going to discuss about pros and cons and all kind of complexities that can happen initially in the process of study visa or later on as well. So we are going to help you in deciding which can be the target country for you when you are proceeding for your study visa along with family. So if you are married and want to immigrate along with your family, then watch this video till the end. Hello everyone, welcome back to this YouTube channel Globex Immigration. This is Jitendra Grover. So in this video, we are discussing about the countries where you can apply for study visa along with family. So you can take your spouse or kids along with you. It is possible. You can do it after getting your study visa later on, after getting your study visa after your travel to the country, or you can apply for study visa along with the family as well. So you can apply for everyone together and travel together as well. Most of the consultants do not recommend to do that, but it is the right way of doing it because rules can change anytime, and later on after your travel to that particular country, and if you try to apply for your spouse, if that time rules are not in your favor, in that case you will not be able to get it. So I always recommend to apply for the entire family together and travel together. You should not leave your family behind, your kids behind. That is not a pleasant scenario emotionally as well, and also if the rules change, in that case you will not be able to get it in future. So it becomes a really big issue if the family is left behind. So it's always better that you show more funds for your family, make an appropriate better application so that you get visa for the entire family. Either it will be a refusal for the entire family or you will get visa for the entire family, but in any way all of you will be able to stay together. Most of people aspire for that and you should go for it. It's not impossible. Yes, it's difficult, but it's not impossible. Even though many consultants may not recommend this to do, but you should target or aspire for this, that the entire family is getting visa together, no matter which country you are going to. Technically, all the countries wherever spouse visa is possible, all the countries allow you to apply for the spouse visa along with the study visa. It is possible. No country denies it technically. Yes, it is allowed legally as per the rules of the country. It is not a problem. But in practice, it is not done by the consultants. But you can push your consultant, you can take control of your application, and you can go for the entire family together. When I run my advertisement, I always recommend to apply with family. So my advertisements are Finland with family, Canada study visa with family. So I always recommend to apply with family so that the entire family gets visa together and there is no issue of applications of the dependent later on. But if you don't have kids, then you can decide, okay, I'm going to apply for spouse visa later on, not along with study visa. Yes, you can decide for that, but it is up to you. I always recommend that apply for the entire family together. So we are going to discuss the countries one by one. I am going to give you broad idea about the countries so that you can decide whether you want to proceed for this particular country or the other country. So many things are there in picture. I am deciding with starting with Canada. So you can decide whether you want to move to Canada or not. Canada is one of the biggest countries where you can take Canada study visa with family. It is possible. So you require 2 years of master's degree in Canada. If you are taking a master's degree, then in that case you will be eligible to apply for spouse upon work permit. So it can be done. It's not really a big ask that it is impossible to be done. After, even if you are taking a bachelor's degree, there are a few bachelor's degree which are in engineering or computer science or B.Ed, Bachelor of Education. It is a 4-year degree. So most of these degrees are 4 years. If you are taking a 4 years of bachelor's or 2 year of master's degree, then it is possible to get spouse visa even with bachelor degree as well after 12th, or after a master's degree. If you are taking a master's degree of 2 years, it is possible. There are many options available and it's not a problem. If you go longer in the journey, then you get 3 years of PG work permit, which is a work permit for the entire family. Means student will get 3 years of PG work permit and spouse will also get open work permit. So mostly you are going to get a stay of 5 years, 2 years during the education, 3 years of work permit, and it becomes like 5 years of time. During that period, you need to make your PR possible. So this is one way of doing it. The funds requirement for Canada is you require $21,000 GIC, 1 year of tuition fee. It is on average, it is approximately $19,000 on average for the universities. So if you are going 2 year of masters, you require to take it, then you can add one more $19,000 here. So overall the tuition fee in most cases for 2 year program, it is between $30,000 to $35,000 in most cases. In some cases it is more as well, in some cases it is less as well, but on average it is $35,000 for 2 years. But for first year on average you can take $18,000 to $19,000 is the tuition fee. Then 1 year of living expenses, it is $21,000 for the first applicant. And if you are married, applying with the family, applying with spouse, then for the spouse you require $5,000. So overall it becomes like $45,000 you require. If you have kids, then kid 1 you require $6,000 extra, kid 2 you require $7,000 extra. So if you are a family of 4, then you require more financial capacity. So it is going to be around $60,000 you require to reach Canada, out of which $19,000 are your real expense, and rest of the money will be given back to you, because it can be either in saving account or it can be in GIC. As soon as you land in Canada, you can withdraw the entire GIC. If you are doing your GIC through ICICI Bank, then in that case you can withdraw the entire GIC as soon as you land in Canada. So the funds which you are showing for the family, so $21,000 is for a primary applicant who is going on study visa, $5,000 for spouse, $6,000 for first kid, $7,000 for second kid, around $40,000 you are showing. This entire money is your saving. It's not an expense, but one time you need to collect this money. So if you have these type of funds available, yes, there are more details that you can take loan and many other things are there. So I am not going into the details of the funds requirement. So if you have these funds, you can get study visa. You will have 5 years of time to make your PR possible, and it can be done within 2 years as well, because husband or wife. So if wife is going on study visa, then husband will be on open work permit. Husband can also become the primary applicant for PR. So it can be done. It is there in all the countries. So husband can also become the primary applicant, and within 2 years can get experience in Canada. After getting experience, can become the primary applicant and apply for PR and get PR for the family. So it is possible. Also, student, as soon as student completes the study, can become eligible for PR. It is possible. There are many programs in Canada in which you don't require experience. As soon as you complete your study, after completing your study, you can become eligible to get your PR. So it is possible. So it is possible under RCIP program as well. If you are studying in rural areas, it is possible under Ontario master graduate stream as well. As soon as you complete your study, you become eligible for PR. It is possible under Ontario international student stream as well. So there are many options where within 2 years you can become eligible to get your PR. As a student who completed the study, or as the secondary applicant who is on open work permit, both can apply for PR and you can make it possible. Or worst scenario, you may not even get your PR in 5 years as well. So it can also be there. But if you are flexible in terms of job and in terms of location, that you don't stick to that I was doing so and so job in my home country, I don't want to do a lower level of job now, I don't want to change my profession. So if you are flexible to change your profession, whatever is required, I am ready to do. Until unless I get my PR, I am flexible for my job. And you should be flexible for the location as well. So if you are flexible for the location, flexible for the job title, if you are able to shift to rural areas, there are 14 communities where if you are going to get your experience in RCIP in these 14 communities, as soon as you complete 1 year of experience, and even if you don't have experience, if your previous experience matches your job in that particular community, still without even having 1 year of experience, as per your previous experience, you are getting a job in that community. Without even having an experience in that community, you can get your PR. So you should be flexible. You should be flexible for job title. You should be flexible for location. If you are flexible, that you can get your PR within 2 years as well. Or in worst case scenario, yes, means anything can happen. You may require to leave the country. But in most cases, I believe that it is going to be your fault that you are having to leave Canada. Canada giving 4 lakh PRs each year, approximately 4 lakh PRs. If you are unable to get your PR within 4 to 5 years, it may be your mistake that you are not getting it. So be flexible for job, be flexible for location, and you should get your PR. So it is possible. Only one concern people are having about Canada. Yes, study visa is possible, spouse open work permit is possible, and also even if you get refusal, you can reapply. That facility is also there because Canada is having a system of random refusals. They also understand that, we also understand that, and we always reapply if we don't get visa. So there is no restriction on how many times you can apply for visa. I have got Canada study visa after 10-12 refusals as well. So if you are not going to leave your Canadian dream, then of course you are going to get it ultimately. So if you think it through that which country is going to give you PR at the end, then this can be your option. If there are concerns related to the job market and all, it is, the issues are there in almost all the countries. It is there in Europe, it is there in UK, it is there in Australia, New Zealand. When there is a recession, it is there in almost all the developed countries, including Europe and 5 big countries, which are USA, Canada, UK, Australia, New Zealand. And that's the only reason governments and people, they are becoming anti-immigration. So that's the only reason, because everything runs with the sentiment of the public, and sentiments are not in favor. So job market is not that great in almost all the countries. If it is there in Canada, then it is going to be similar in other countries as well. One more question people ask me, whether it is the right time to go to Canada. The answer is yes. Whenever there are less people going to a particular country, that's the best time to go to that country. That happened in COVID as well. People who went in COVID to Canada, that time less people were going to Canada, less competition these people faced. Whosoever applied that time, went to Canada that time, these people faced less competition in PR. Already they have received their PR, or they are on the verge of getting their PR. Already the application is processed. So it is best time to go in this particular year. Means it is like share market. When everyone is fearful, be greedy that time. When everyone is greedy, be fearful. So this is the time when people are fearful. This is the right time to go. I am not saying it just because I am a consultant. I am saying it based on my own experience. My friends went to Canada during COVID and they didn't face much problem in getting their PR. Even without having the great profile, greatest of profiles to get their PR, their age was 35, above 35, and still they made their pathway for their PR. So they faced less competition because they went to Canada when less people were going. So this should be your criteria while choosing a country, not the current situation of the country. So this is the first country which you can target. The second one is Finland. Again, so this is the second country where you can get study visa with family, and you can take the entire family together. It is possible. So you can target this country as well. It is a European country, and people who want to move to Europe, then Finland is one of the best countries. There must be many videos you must have seen that it is one of the happiest country, blah 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 blah. So many good things are there. So if we are talking about the developed countries, so already these things are there. Yes, and these countries are safe and all those things. Currency is good. So all those things are there, definitely. That's why we are talking about these countries, and we want to shift to a better country from our less developed country. So yes, Finland is one of the best countries where you can go along with your family, and financial requirement is bit less compared to Canada. So you can choose this particular country. The fee, you can choose 1-year program or 2-year program, 2 year of masters, or you can take a bachelor's degree as well. Any study you do in Finland, you will be allowed to take your spouse along with study. So you can go with the entire family. So if you are taking 1-year study, 2-year study, 3-year, 4-year, 5-year, whatever study you are taking, you can take your spouse along with you. The only concern is timeline here, because most of the universities are public universities and there are not many universities just like Canada or USA. There are limited options available. Most prominently 10 options are available in 2 big cities. So you can choose Finland, but it may take some time. What you are going to do, what you need to do, we can start doing admissions now until March this year, March 2025. Applications will be submitted in most universities. Then we are going to get the reply within next 2-3 months, and after getting that we are going to lodge file, and once we submit the file you are going to join most probably in January next year, January 2026. So if you have time, in that case, it is one of the best options. There may be one or two options which are available right now for September, but most probably most of the options are open for January intake. That's the only concern we are having. The timeline is pretty big, so you require to wait for some time to get the offer letter and then to get your visa and then to your travel. So it can be a long wait, but everything else is perfectly fine. So if you are looking to move to Europe only, then Finland is the country. Finland gives you an option of getting PR as well. So if you are going to stay for 5 years, you can extend your permit and you don't require to pay to extend your permit. So if you are in the job, in that case, yes, you can keep extending your permit. The culture or system is there. It's mostly not paid. You can do it for free. So you can get the sponsorship from the employers, and if you get the sponsorship, yes, you can keep on extending your permit. So you can keep staying in Finland for a long period even after completion of your study. You can get your post-study work permit. After getting your work permit, you can extend it as well, and you can extend your stay. On average, PR should take 6 to 8 years in Finland, and you may require to learn Finnish language as well. But if you are going to learn Finnish language, you can settle there legally. It should not be a problem. If you are doing a job where you require to interact with anyone, whether it is a part-time job or a full-time job, in that case, it's better to start learning Finnish language if you have to move to Europe. So in Europe, almost all the countries have their own language. If you go to Finland, then Finnish is there. German is there. If you go to any country, if you go to Sweden, then Swedish is there. All the countries have their own different language. So if you are looking to move to a country in Europe, then in that case, the only one hurdle is the language. So if you are moving to Finland and you want to do a good job, you don't want to do labor job. Initially doing a labor job is also fine, but ultimately you always want to do a higher level job. If you want to do any office job, white collar job, in that case, you will require to learn Finnish language. That's a problem. If you are in IT, then yes, you may work without learning the local language, and even if you learn little bit of Finnish language, still it is going to work out for you because most of the clients are going to speak in English. But in many cases, if you are going to do customer interaction jobs, in that case you will require to learn the language. So the only big hurdle in moving to Europe or immigrating to Europe on study visa, spouse visa, the only big hurdle is language. So if you are able to do language, in that case it will be sorted, and same hurdle will be there in Finland as well. But if you are going to do just labor kind of job, I don't recommend that. Initially it is fine, but not for lifetime. So it's better that you learn the language if you are going to clear that hurdle. If you are going to learn it even on lower levels, A1, A2, even if you clear A2 level, at least you will have some grip on the language. You will be able to understand the language, but you will not be able to speak fluently. But it's fine. You can learn it over the period of time, and by the time you reach the stage of getting your PR, by that time your language will be good. But it will be there for you. It will come to you. You will require to do it. So just keep it in mind. So this is one of the options. You can go to Finland. Finland study visa with family is also one of the options. Funds wise, financial requirement, living expenses are quite similar in almost all the countries. You require similar type of expenses, and here in Finland the fee mostly is 8,000 to 14,000 euro. It's in euro. If it is 1 year of study, then in that case it is going to be just 1 year of fee. If it is a master's degree, if it is a 2 year of master's, that fee is again going to be more than this. But if you are taking a 1 year of master's, then it is going to be fine. There are few universities where you can get admission without IELTS as well. This is one of the things. If you can't do IELTS PT for Canada, then you can target Finland. So Finland becomes a really good option for you, and there are universities where you can get admission. Vasa University is there. You can get admission without IELTS or PT, where you can get admission based on medium of instruction letter, MOI, medium of instruction letter. Quite easy to get from your college or university, easily manageable. So you can get admission with that. Without IELTS PT, you can get admission and you can get visa as well. So for admission and for visa, for both the things, you can proceed without IELTS or PT. So if you can't do it, then it becomes a really good option. If you don't want to go to UK, where PR may not be possible for you, and spouse visa is again a big question, because you may go to a research degree where spouse visa is possible. So if you don't want to go to a country, what is better in UK, that it is English speaking country and spouse visa is allowed for a few degrees. Means if you are going for a research degree, then it may be allowed to you. So there are two hurdles in UK. One is getting spouse visa, that is allowed with the research degrees, and getting that approved from the university is big hurdle. Not everyone is going to get it. And second is PR. So even if you get study visa, then again the problem is going to be because there are no processes for PR. Only cream of the country, 0.1% of the country may be getting PR with the current system of PR in UK. But other than that, most of the people require to move to some other country after completing their study and work permit, or they may require to come back, or they stay there illegally. All the options are not really good. If you require to leave, if you don't get PR after spending so much of money, it's not a really good option. The better thing about Finland, at least they have the option of PR after spending this money. So there are universities where you can pay your fee, and you can go by paying 6-month fee. So you can pay for 6 months of fee, rest of the money you can show in your account, and you can apply for your Finland study visa. So it can be done. And in most cases, apart from Canada, in Canada as well, you have an option to pay 6-month fee. But here in Finland, UK, Australia, New Zealand, means either you don't require to pay anything, you require to show everything in your account. In USA as well, you require to show everything in your account, or you may require to pay 6 months of fee or 75% of the fee, and then you can travel to that particular country. So apart from Canada, even if you are not paying your complete first year fee and you don't have a blocked account, still you can proceed. So the option is there. So here also, by paying 6 months of fee, you can proceed. It's not a problem. Apart from tuition fee, you require to show living expenses as well. In living expenses, for student, you require approximately 10,000 euros. For first applicant, it is 75. For spouse, you require, for student, you require 10,000, spouse 7,500, first kid 7,500, kid 1, and 6,000 euros for kid 2, and so on. So you can apply for study visa with spouse in Finland. So the only hurdle you are having is timeline. Timeline is pretty big, so you may require to have more time to travel. So that's one of the issues. Second is the language. Otherwise, almost all the things are pretty sorted, and it can lead to a PR as well. That's also a good news, that if you are going for Finland, then ultimately you can make it worth. You can get your PR legally, and if you are able to learn the language, then you are going to get really good job as well. It is also possible. Next country which we are going to discuss is UK. Okay, I will not discuss much about UK. The only issue about UK is the good part is the language. It is English speaking, just like Canada. Canada, USA, Australia, New Zealand. So these countries are English speaking. So you can very well adjust there. But the problem, there are two problems. First problem is getting spouse visa, because it is not allowed with all the master's degree or bachelor degrees, and we require to get a separate permission for research programs. So although technically on the website it is not denied for any kind of degrees, but ultimately when we are going to apply for research degree, then only we get the approval from the university that okay, spouse visa is allowed. So they are going to write it separately. If it is not written on the offer letter along with study visa, you cannot apply for spouse visa. So we require, even in the research degrees, if you are going, it should be mentioned in the offer letter that spouse visa is allowed with this particular degree. Getting admission in research programs is not that easy. You require a research profile with that. Mostly you require a professor as well who is ready to fund your research or who is ready to guide you. If that happens, so it means it becomes a degree MS by research or PhD. So if you are going for this type of degrees, then spouse visa is possible. There are few universities where research degree admissions, masters by research, is possible without having a research profile. We can try for it just the way we get course based admissions, but the acceptance rate is quite less. You can consider it 30% acceptance rate is there. So it's not guaranteed that you are going to get admission in this type of degrees. So this is one issue. Getting admission itself is difficult in this type of program where spouse visa can be possible. Second is PR. So you go there, you settle there for some time during your study period, then during your work permit duration. So during this period of 3 to 4 years, you can consider that during this period you can stay there easily. You are staying legally, it's not a problem. You are on study visa, spouse is on open work permit, then you also get a post study work permit. So both of you are on work permit, but it doesn't last long. So it is going to be 3 to 4 years of time where you can stay there legally. What after that? Many people don't think it through. They just want to go there, want to go out of the country, from out of India, out of Nigeria, wherever you are staying, whether it is African country, South Asian country. So you can immigrate temporarily to a new country, to a developed country, but do not go to the countries where you do not have the plan to get PR. Otherwise, money you have spent on the study and the emotional attachment with the country is there, everything is wasted. As soon as you require to leave and you don't get PR, then it becomes a big problem for you. And until unless you get your PR in a country, you don't get settled. The reason is quite simple. You are unable to save money. You will keep on paying to the sponsors, your employers. You are going to keep money to consultants, and you will not be able to save money. You cannot buy a home, and you are restricted to do your business as well. So it becomes a really big problem. Until unless you get your PR, you don't get settled. That is the bottom line. So whenever you are planning for your study visa, whenever you are planning for your spouse upon work permit, whenever you are planning to travel with your family, always plan for your PR. If you don't have a plan for PR, do not immigrate. Do not spend money on study, because study visa ultimately is a pathway to reach to a particular country and to get PR as well. If you are not getting PR, then these studies are not that great that they are going to make you an awesome engineer or something. No, you are going to have these type of universities and colleges in your country as well. So we are using study as the pathway for PR. That's it. These are not the special studies which you cannot get in your country. You are going for master's degree. In most of the corporate jobs, they don't even ask for a master's degree to get a job. So your experience is more valued. Your experience, your skills are more valued. Your experience is more valued. That has more value compared to your study. So when you are taking the study as a pathway to reach a country and settlement there, then why don't you think about the settlement? Why do you leave that part for later discussion? Discuss about it initially, then only move to a different country. Otherwise, do not move. Next two countries are New Zealand and Australia. So these are countries. Both the countries are really good in terms of settlement. The income levels are really good, but entering in these countries, that entrance is not that easy. That's the problem. The financial requirement in both the countries, it's a big hurdle. You require to show funds which are 3 to 6 months old, and you require to have source of fund as well. For example, in Canada, no one asks you for source of funds. You just require to pay the entire fee for first year. You require to pay GIC, that is blocked account, and no one cares from where you got that money. Entire money reaches Canada and that's it. It's all over. Similarly, in UK, you just require to show 28 days old funds, and even if the funds are sourced from you borrowed the funds from anywhere, it is fine. You just require to have 28 days old fund with you, and it's fine to get your visa. It's not a problem. In USA, if you just have the statement or balance certificate, even if you are having 1 day old funds, it's also fine. You can still get visa of USA. It is possible. So here the countries are not looking for the sources of funds. Yes, they may be taking your interview and having other ways of checking your profile. That's a different story. But funds, even if those are not old funds, still it is fine. But in New Zealand, Australia, you require to show 3 to 6 month old. Older the better. So, and you require to show the sources of funds as well. If you are taking a loan, then you require to prove that you have the capacity to repay the loan as well. So your guarantors, possibly your parents, they should have the financial capacity, and they should have the income levels as well to repay the loan. They are going to check if the installment of the loan is going to be 20,000 rupees, then in that case, whether your parents who are going to repay the loan, whether your sponsors, your parents, they are having 60,000 rupees as their income or not. So it should be 3 times of the installments. So these type of hurdles are there. So if you are going to take loan, then you need to show that you are able to repay that. Your funds are there, then you need to show that from where you procured those funds. Whether you sold a property, then you need to show the transaction. All those things are there. Just having a 6 month old financial statement, bank statement is not enough. Even beyond 6 months, from where you got that money is also important. You need to show it was my salary or whatever. So showing the funds, source of fund is important, and these countries are not looking to getting the students just like that. So they are having a tight system to check each and every document which you are going to submit. Fake degrees, fake certificates, anything, those things do not work in these countries, and it becomes a really big problem for many people who are having any gaps. They are unable to fulfill the gap. If you are having experience, then the salary should be in your account. So the system of scrutiny is really tight in these countries. So reaching there is difficult, but yes, countries are really good, really beautiful. You can get PR in New Zealand far quicker compared to Australia. If you get PR of New Zealand, of course, you can move to Australia for your work. It is similar to Canada and USA. If you get the PR in Canada, then you can work in USA. There are people in USA who have done investment in Canada. So yes, before Trump, it was quite simpler. Now it may be a bit difficult in future, but till now, if you have the PR of Canada, you can do investment in USA, you can do your job, business in USA as well. It is possible. Till now, there are no changes in the rule as such. In future, it may happen. Trump can do anything. But till now, yes, it is like Canada and USA. It's all same after getting your PR and citizenship. Same way, New Zealand and Australia are there. Here as well, people can go here and there. Australians can live in New Zealand. They can work there easily. They don't require visas without much hurdle. So everything is sorted. So they can do the things in both the countries. Both are similar kind of countries. Similar kind of systems are there in both the countries. So if you get the PR of New Zealand, you can start working in Australia as well. It's not a problem. In Australia, the average timeline for PR is 8 to 10 years, which I feel in most cases. That is why I'm calling it average. In New Zealand, it can be done quicker. So it can be in 4 years if you are going to the programs in green list. So that's one thing. So if you are going for top tier programs and programs which are in demand, if you are taking those type of programs, you should do it for all the countries. Even if you are going to Germany, even if you are going to Canada, Australia, wherever you are going, always choose the programs which are in the priority list of that country. So if you are taking those programs, then quickly you can get your PR in New Zealand, because those programs can lead to similar kind of jobs. And if you are landing in similar kind of jobs, mostly the jobs are related to IT. Most of the time you are going to find those type of jobs, or analytics. So these type of jobs are going to be there in almost all the countries. You are going to find STEM related programs and healthcare related programs. These are mostly going to be in priority list. And most of the time, all the developed countries have the scarcity of STEM related people and healthcare related people. So you will find really great engineers there. You will find really great healthcare related people there, but they will always have the scarcity of these people. So if you are taking these programs, then always you can fall under the priority list, and it can help you in getting your PR quicker as well. In many cases, just by completing the education after getting the job offer letter, it happens in most of the countries. Just by getting the offer letter, you can be eligible to get your PR. Yes, it is a really generic statement. I know that, I understand that, but it is possible if you are doing a priority program in New Zealand, in Australia, or in any other country as well. So you can choose New Zealand over Australia if you are going there. They take very less number of students each year. So it is usually 5 to 10,000 students each year. Mostly people go to New Zealand. So numbers are quite less. New Zealand is expensive, but it is one of the best countries in the world. So you can always try to go there. You can choose this particular country. If your funds are right, they should be really perfect. If funds are perfect, then New Zealand can be the country where PR is also possible, and you can get the study visa along with family, along with your spouse. So it is possible. So these were the countries which you can target. So in my list, still according to the complexity of getting visa, complexity of funds, so according to that, Canada still by far is one of the best countries, and they announce that they are going to take so many applicants for PR. So they already have their agenda of giving PR to the people. So it is there. So even though it is competitive, still it is possible. So you can make your pathway possible in Canada. So funds wise and PR wise, Canada is by far the best country. Then you can choose Finland, then you can choose New Zealand, then you can choose Australia, then you can choose UK. Reaching UK is the easiest part, but it's not for families. And if you are single, of course you can go there. But the biggest issue which I feel going to UK, even if you are single, that 3-4 years you are going to stay there. But after that, either you need to stay there illegally or shift to any other country, spend one more amount, big amount to get study visa or to get work permit in some other country. But it's not a long-term story. So you cannot get PR. That's the biggest problem in that particular country. Even if you do particular special type of thing, still it is not possible. They don't have the systems for that. Even though the systems are there on paper, but actually they don't work. So if you go to Germany, they have multiple systems of getting PR after doing your German language. You can do it. If you go to Finland, if you go to any country, there are multiple countries along with Finland as well. So you go there, you learn their language, you are doing a decent kind of job, there are pathways of getting PR. They are not on paper, but if you are learning a new language, at least with that you are getting an opportunity to get PR. Similarly, in Canada, if you are learning French, even if you are outside Canada, you have the opportunity and the system to get PR, even from outside Canada, by learning a new language. So you get rewarded for learning a local language. That is not in UK. So that's the problem. Otherwise, getting study visa is easier. It's not a problem. If you get admission, if you get cash letter from the university, you will get visa. So getting visa is not the problem. And if you get the research admission, then spouse visa is also not a problem. You don't require really old funds. It is going to be possible for you. It's not a problem. So if you want to apply for your study visa with me, and if you are married, then I mostly target married people who want to travel with family. So for them, this is one of the videos which I wanted to make for a long time, because people ask me, they come to me and they have their doubts. I am confused which country to move to, where I am eligible to go. So this was the video for you guys, that you can think about the countries where you can go, where you want to go, what kind of hurdles are there, whether you can learn new language or not. And if the local language doesn't suit you, in that case, what will be your plan B? Whether you want to hop the country, that earlier you want to go to UK, then you want to shift to some other country for your PR. So you can make a plan for yourself. It was not an extensive video where I showed how many funds are required, how you can show your funds. That's a different video. I'll make separate video for Finland study visa with spouse, UK study visa with spouse, New Zealand study visa with spouse. I will make videos for that as well. But at least you have the list of countries where you can move, which are the best countries to move along with spouse. So that is what I wanted to share. If you want to apply with me, in that case, I can proceed for your application. If you want to know how you can get your PR using French, Canada PR using French, then you can watch this video. This is one of the best videos which can help you in getting your PR from outside Canada as well. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. See you in next video.